brand new 2019 BMW, and instead of the 3-year-old one that he's been campaigning so far. Packed grassy banks, high cloud, bit of sunshine. What could be better than Oulton Park and leafy Cheshire on an afternoon like this, with Richard Cooper in an intriguing position, because there are only 2 races left in this series. They miss Assen, the superstockers. They have 1 race apiece at Donington Park and Brands Hatch, which means that if Richard Cooper finishes anywhere ahead of Taylor Mackenzie in this race, he will be crowned champion, because he'll be 50 points clear. Unless there's something I don't know and you get double points at the last race. Richard Cooper then 50.5 points clear of Taylor Mackenzie. Lee Jackson on 182. Alex Olsen, now in Superbike, is in 4th place, where he finished in fact last year. Lewis Rollo, the Scotsman, getting stronger and stronger on the iron competition. Aprilia is in 5th place ahead of Chrissy Rouse. Morello Racing Kawasaki, the new 6th place man after his 4th place yesterday, behind Cooper, Jackson and Luke Hedger. As already mentioned, Taylor Mackenzie, final lap of the race on the Batham's Racing BMW, established a new lap record, and that put him on pole position for today, ahead of Lee Jackson and Richard Cooper. Tom Neave's Honda in 4th place despite his fall yesterday. Luke Hedger 5th and Chrissy Rouse 6th. 7th on the grid is Lewis Rollo in the leading Aprilia, ahead of Tim Neve, who's changed his team incidentally, and is now on his own motorcycle rather than the Morello Racing Kawasaki. Jordan Weaving in 9th, a good ride from the former Moto3 champion. Levi Day 10th, ahead of Joe Collier and Tom Ward. Behind those guys we've got guys like Ben Godfrey, Ashley Beach, Aimee Lottie, Dan Cooper, Leon Geacock, George Stanley, Graham Irwin, the middle of the Irwin brothers, starting in 19th place in his absolutely rookie season on tarmac. So fascinating lineup of riders, and this is one young man, well, 2 young men we'll be really looking at. The 3 men on the front row of the race, certainly. T-Mac, can he make the most of being on pole position rather than having to charge through the pack? We'll find out any minute now. This is a 14-lap race then for the Pirelli National Superstock 1000 Championship in association with Black Horse. Oh, they're being held a long time. Oh dear.
Somebody stalled on the line, somebody stalled. Oh, just got away with that.
And Richard Cooper makes another of his electrifying starts. The pint-sized 9 stone of Richard Cooper meant that Suzuki can just torpedo itself off the line, and he bounces through into the lead ahead of Taylor Mackenzie. So the front 3 then straight away are off with the FS3 Kawasaki. Someone went straight on through the gravel, stayed on board as they ventured onto the grass at Cascades. As Taylor Mackenzie looks round the outside, he wants to line up an inside pass into Shell Oils.
Yeah, the problem with that, Jack, is you on the wider line you've got to stay leaned over for longer. You can't put the brakes onto the back straight up and down. Somebody else up, hang on.
Oh, that's Graham Irwin.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That's Graham Irwin. What a...
Yeah, you know what's happened there? He's got put on the grass at Island Bend, and then he's thrown it down the road basically to stop himself sliding into anybody else who got to the hairpin.
So the Irwin family not having the greatest of weekends after we saw Glenn Irwin run on when he was looking strong in the British Superbike race earlier this afternoon. And of course Andy Irwin having to start from the back of the grid in the last of the 3 Superbike races later.
Yeah, when you've got 38 riders on the grid, it's always a little bit messy first couple of laps, especially when you get them narrow one-line sections of track like both chicanes, Britons and Hazlocks.
So Richard Cooper then, the race winner yesterday, ahead of Lee Jackson. They were close friends and training mates, very close together throughout the races. Taylor Mackenzie wasted no time in nudging ahead of the Suzuki.
Yeah, and I can already tell you that brand new BMW S1000 RR of Mackenzie's is fairly sharp in terms of speed, because he got exactly the same run as Cooper out of Druids and was able to get himself somewhere level. So it's a quick bite. Hang on.
And we got another faller there. Oh dear me. And that looks a little less comfortable, but it could just be a severe winding. And I think it's number 92.
I think it is. Yeah, it's Josh Wood, I think.
On the second lap of 14 then, and already Taylor Mackenzie beginning to just difficult to tell who's finished third.
Mackenzie's got 2 really good opportunities to overtake here.
One is here.
One of them, yeah. He's got a fairly sharp back. He's gone.
He's good. He's good.
Has he got it stopped?
No, he
he
can't
hasn't.
stop.
He hasn't got it stopped.
And he's going to lose an awful lot of time as he flicks through. That could be the moment the championship went.
He's going to lose. Yeah, he's going to rejoin in fourth. Is he? Let's have a look. Yeah.
Oh
no, third.
Third. He's got there third. He's got right between the two, the pursuing pair. And this looks like this lad.
This is the championship. Mackenzie didn't. He lost it definitely a second. You have to lose at least a second on your best lap, and he didn't gain a place. So to me, that's legal. But it's going to cost him. It's cost him the championship.
Look at these three now launching in, and Chrissy Rouse thought he had an opportunity on that rostrum finish. Is he going to be thwarted? And across the line goes Richard Cooper. 2011 he was the last champion. Bob Jackson thrilled with second place. Richard Cooper and Suzuki finally, after missing out by 10 points each time in 2017 and 2018, take the National Superstock Championship. A sporting Michael Rutter there smiles in defeat. What a result. Richard Cooper then grabs the verdict, grabs the title, and it's well earned, James. He's been a real class all year.
The manufacturers put a lot of emphasis and stress on this championship because these are as near to the bike that they're selling out of their showrooms every single day of the week as you can get and go on track with them. So these have more in common and resemblance to the road bikes than any other class.
This is where it was decided, James.
Yeah, but do you know, and this is the thing, he put all his eggs in one basket there when he allowed Cooper past. It was a risk. He obviously felt he got confidence that he could get past Cooper just about where he wanted. He let him through to come up with a plan, and sometimes that just didn't work, and that didn't work.
Stuart Hicken there, watch it.
Yeah, I mean, Stuart's seen it all before. If he's getting a bit animated, then there is a problem. Yeah, he's happy with that because from that point on, it was going to be Cooper's race.
So Richard Cooper then, he was Met's the National Superstock 1000 champion back in 2011, and now 8 years later, he reclaims the title. Brilliant performance and great race. Richard Cooper is the new National Superstock 1000 champ.